All right, and I think with that I'm good to actually turn on the microphone. Sorry about the long empty air. I was just setting some stuff up because this was very just screw it, let's stream. So the stream is also going to be SINoALICE. Oh, let me turn on the webcam here so you guys can at least see me. Cool. So I'm probably just going to hang out here, play a little bit of SINoALICE. I don't really have much else on the to-do for today, so may as well, right? Let's move this here. Hey, what's good? Well, not really that much. Just kind of enjoying playing SINoALICE here. The beginning for this game is always fun. Well, I think most mobile games, actually, the beginning's pretty fun. Now, what I think I'll do is I'll just kind of talk about some of the stuff that I've done in the game to kind of prep myself for upcoming relevant content, and also talk a little bit about things that are coming soon that players should kind of be on the up and up for. Now, for myself, what I've been doing is I've been focusing on trying to increase my total gear score. Right now, I've pushed my main group up, as you can see, to 27k. And let's bring this to the front so I can see it on my monitor. Perfect. Now, my actual inventory is very bodged at the moment. So, as you can see, I have one L rank weapon, one SR rank, and everything else is a whole bunch of S ranks. Now, I did a little poking around. Hey Alan, what's up? And what I did was I actually had gone to the shop here. And I'm not saying you have to do this yourself. This is just what I did to kind of help bolster my numbers a little bit, because I don't plan on rolling the gacha. I bought one of each starter pack, 300 crystals. So that's equal to a 10 roll. Difference is there was a guaranteed at least one SR in the packages that I got my hands on. So I got myself a extra SR weapon and a bunch of other stuff, so I knew it was going to be good. Hey Thomas. So I'm not going to say absolutely 100% buy these packs, but if you find your gear score has stagnated and you want to save as much crystals as you can, this is your best bang for your buck, in my opinion. Obviously, there are other ways to get weapons and stuff, right? Metal trade and whatnot, but this is a quick way to quickly boost your numbers. And yeah. Now, other than that, the other thing to take note of that I don't think a lot of people have been doing, because it's not the most intuitive, when you go to your weapon grid, right? See all the info. If you hit subgrid and you bring this up, this actually, you have to hit recommended on this again. And yeah, the problem is with this, when you hit recommended on this screen, right, and you fill in for the strongest, it doesn't do your subgrids, and vice versa. So make sure that when you're putting or setting up a new class or updating it, whatever, you always do both grids here, because that's a lot of stats you may be missing out on. A few thousand can mean the difference between winning a fight or getting stomped into the dirt, you know? Now, can you explain to me how minstrel buffs work? I actually did that in a lot of detail in one of my SINoALICE videos in the past. I'd recommend watching the playlist I have on my channel, the SINoALICE videos, because I talk about stats, I talk about Coliseum, nightmares. I cover tons of data and information about the game, and I could talk about it now for sure, but it's not going to be nearly as detailed as I did in that video, because I also used some pictures and stuff to kind of help illustrate my point. Now, let's see here. Right now, I don't really have too much to do in the game. I'm kind of waiting for the Gorilla event to start, because most of my stuff here, I'll just go to my grid. If you didn't notice, most of my weapons are very low level because I bought a whole bunch of them right from the shop there for the 150 crystals. So I need to start investing in them and leveling them up, get my stat pool up, and hopefully by the end of today, I'll be up at around 35, 40k or so, around there. That should help me coast through most of the early game content. Now, thinking about content, actually, this is kind of important and something that I think people should pay attention to. So, you may or may not know that the metal exchange, the Royal Metals, you can get your hands on a SR Nightmare. After 5 weeks worth of Royal, so 5 tickets or coins, you get to pick one of the Nightmares of your choice. Now, why that's important? Yeah, sorry, I'm munchy, so I'm having some food. Does it even worth? Whew. The A weapons. Thing is, we're early game. Everything works. You don't need an entire grid of S or SR weapons. These are all going to be placeholders anyways, and I'm actually just about to touch on that. So, in a couple of weeks, or a little less than a couple of weeks, we're getting the Nier Automata event. The collaboration brings a banner where we have 9S, A2, and 2B, and then we also get a medal event. Now, this is important for 2 reasons. One, we get a proper medal event. You want to farm as many medals as you can through this event. So it's recommended you save your purification tickets, potentially skip tickets as well. And the reason for that is just so when the event starts, you can absolutely plow through it, get tons of event items and materials and stuff. Now, to prep for this event, it is water advantage. So what that means is make sure your grid has a lot of water weapons in it, and make sure, if you're able to, get your hands on Freeze Golem. These 2 things will make your time in Nier Automata extremely easy, because most of the enemies are going to be fire, so you'll be able to just beat the snot out of them, putting it simply. Now, a couple of months later, we're getting the Nier Replicant event, and this potentially is going to shake up the game. First of all, it is wind advantage. So what I'm doing is I'm saving my Royal Medals and I'm trading for Freeze Golem at the end of this week, because I'm going to buy the $16 package to get the 4 coins. I'll have 5 and I'll trade for Freeze Golem, making sure that I have, as much as I can for water, so that when we get to the Nier Automata event, it's very easy. And then what I'm doing is I'm saving my Royal coins for Lindworm. Now, so, Nier Replicant. That's going to hit. It's going to be win advantage. And the reason that it may shake up the game is because that event didn't come until 1.5 years after JP started. So, potentially, that means we're going to have weapons and stuff that is balanced towards 1.5 years in the future instead of just a few months. Hopefully I don't have to explain why that's a big meta-shifting deal. So what I'm doing with my crystals is I'm saving them. When the Snow White banner drops in the near future, the step up, I'm rolling until I get the job, or, I'm forced to spark one of the 2. I'll get the job. Then I'm going to save up every single crystal until Replicant hits, and hope that the event was not rebalanced for North America. If it wasn't, that means that all the weapons and everything that's in that banner is top tier, and we should get as much of it as we can, and I'll have a good amount of crystals to do for. So, I don't know if you guys want to do what I'm doing, or do your own thing. It doesn't matter. There's really no wrong way to play SINoALICE. If you haven't already been able to tell, playing the game for 3 days now, 4 days, very casual, laid back, you don't have to sweat too much about it. The only thing that's really important is Colosseum, but right now, everything's in disarray. It's very rare to be matched up against a super guild or anything. So, take it easy. Have fun. Hey, Burkono. Should I even roll in Nier 8 if I main Sorcerer? You know what? That's really up to you. Just look at the banner, look at the stuff that comes in it. If any of it looks good, things that you want, for sure. You might want to get the collaboration jobs, as that's the only time you're going to be able to get them, and they still do give common passive stats, but again, only if you want to. If I play as a Crusher with my Guild and Call, the idea is to get full hammer set. Ideally. Now, thing is, running full hammers is a plus and a minus. So, first off, because hammers are favored by Crushers, they get advantage, extra damage and whatnot. So that's good. However, if you're in the Colosseum and a Shinma buff comes up and it's not hammers, well, your entire grid is now subpar at best. Now, you are able to see what the potential Shinma buffs are going in, so it's not like you're going to be completely unprepared. But typically, yeah, mono grid, just keep an eye out on what the Shinma buff is, and hopefully you're able to match Shinma buff to get maximum returns. Because I don't know if you've had I should have actually recorded it. Stupid of me not to. But yesterday in my guild fight, our Colo battle, we did get Shinma. And it was a race between our guild and the other, because we only had a few of the matching weapon types. The other crew had way more of them. It was a full crew, though, versus only two, so it was one-sided. But getting Shinma buff is extremely important, and in order to do that, you have to have the matching weapon type. So if your entire grid is non-matching, you're just hurting your team. In the case of a Shinma buff. Should clarify that. Are the 5-coin nightmares better than the 7-coin weapons? Yes, all the 7-coin weapons are nice for the early game. However, they are quickly phased out over time. The nightmares are still viable in JP. So, yeah. If I play as a it's that. Technically, Nightmare provides a bigger overall buff versus a weapon. Yeah. Overall, in this Royal Metal Exchange shop, the Nightmares are the highest return for your coins, because not only are they, like I said, still viable in JP, but early game they provide a humongous source of stats, as they are naturally SR ranked. That means they can go up to L, and they give a huge buff to an element. So if you run, for example, like what I'm doing, right? I'm getting Freeze Golem for the Near Automata event, so all my water stuff will do more damage. That is the best you're going to be able to do Nightmare-wise, as Freeze Golem has the highest buff for that. So, I heard you speaking about Snow White step up in your last stream. No, we don't know when it's actually dropping. The only thing we know is that it is coming because the resource was data mined. So, best we can do is assume it's going to drop sometime between now and the Near Automata banner. Maybe at the same time. We don't know. Hopefully me chewing on this stuff isn't too loud for you guys. Half Nightmares will come eventually. Yeah, don't worry so much about that, because by the time Half Nightmare drops, most of the Flavor of the Month players will have moved on, and most of the casuals will already be set in their ways. And frankly, that's just so far ahead for us, we don't have to worry about it right now. That's like months later. What do you recommend to exchange with Char Metals? Oh, let's go open the Char Metal shop, because frankly, I completely forget what it offers. Let's see. Sword of Bondage, blah, blah, blah. Oh, hey, look, it has jobs and arcanas. So, first, Twilight Crystals. 100%. Always try to get gacha currency. No matter the game you play, if there's gacha currency available in a shop for exchange, always get that first. Especially this. That is a full 10 roll for 1,000 charm metals. That is extremely worth it. Charm metals, by the by, I did actually go and verify it. Limit breaking weapons. Someone mentioned that in the chat before. It was through limit breaking, and I decided to double check it. It is. So when you start limit breaking weapons and nightmares and things like that, you're going to start accumulating charm metals. But go for the Twilight Crystals. After the Twilight Crystals, however, let's see here. Let's go through the list. Yeah, no, frankly, get the 300 Twilight Crystals. Once you've got the Twilight Crystals, after that, it's just going to be Job and Arcanas, really, because those will yield the best returns for you. Because don't forget, Jobs give extra passive stats, and Arcanas further boost what that Job is able to give you. So, yeah. To note, the Red Riding Hood Cleric Arcana is useless unless you buy the Job, which is, for me, it's like $36.99 or something Canadian, so that's like, what, $30 American or something? So that Arcana is useless unless you have the Job, which, to my knowledge, is only obtainable by paying. So, yeah, but the Pinocchio one looks good, you know? Yeah, so Twilight Crystals, Jobs, if you have all of that already, then I would probably say, let's see, what else is in here? We got Shackles, we got all sorts of things. After that, I would probably say whatever materials you need, frankly. Like, don't get me wrong, the weapons and stuff that this store offers aren't horrible. You know, like, for where we are in the game, they're pretty okay. But all this stuff's going to get phased out. So focus on the stuff that will yield the best returns over time, which is Twilight Crystals, obviously, and the Jobs. Will you pull on the Nier banner? Automata, no. I rolled on it in JP, and I really wanted A2 from it, and I got her, but I realized that now playing Global, I really do just want to focus on Snow White. I may pick up a couple other Jobs along the way, but Nier Automata, as much as I enjoyed the game, the characters don't really, do anything for me. So it is the only way to get charm medals from limit breaking and fusing weapons for level ups. To my knowledge, this is something that I talked about in my SINoALICE videos. Again, on my channel playlist, SINoALICE. I'd go and watch all those, because right now I'm taking the game very casually. I'm taking it kind of day by day. And because I'm not rolling the gacha, I don't really have a lot of stuff to limit break with. What's the normal rate Twilight Crystal? Obtain weekly. You're gonna notice that as the game matures, there's gonna be more ways to earn crystals. Because once we start getting proper medal events, once we start getting more into Coliseum and things like that, you're gonna notice more and more crystals coming your way. If I remember right, from what I heard in the Discord from one of the Japanese players, if you do the absolute max you can get a month is like 7,000 crystals or something like that. But that's if you're consistently top rated in Coliseum, you do everything that's available all the time. You can get up to 7K. For free to play, it was something, I think it was like 2.5, 3K or something like that. So, but I may be wrong. Just know that it is a sizable amount of crystals. We just need to give the game a little more time to get kind of set in its ways. And don't forget, we've only been playing for a few days, right? We're kind of falling off of that honeymoon phase where the game throws things at you to keep you hooked. So you're going to notice that the incoming rewards are going to start dropping, but they'll be more consistent. So yeah, anyways, regarding the events, 100%, for the Nier Automata that's coming in a couple of weeks, make sure you have a water grid set up. If you can get Freeze Golem or anything to buff your water stuff, get those. And make sure, if you're able to, if you want to, save your purification tickets so that you can keep your AP stocked up for the event and really farm it. And then I believe September is when Replicant is starting, but regardless, before Replicant, try to get a Lindworm, try to get a Wind Grid set up, and it'll make your life just so much easier when the events drop. Beyond that, though, I don't really know much about what's coming. I only have so much clairvoyance. does the near jobs boost your overall account power? They still do have common traits. They still have job traits. So, yeah, you'll still benefit from common traits for those collaboration characters. Random question: can you read katakana and hiragana? No. It's very interesting, actually. So, that's the best way to explain this. I do have a scanlation and translation team. We used to do a ton of work. We're kind of on the decline right now because people have real life to worry about, especially with what's going on in the world. And I have translated and stuff like that myself. However, my grasp of the Japanese language is extremely weak. I can't read it, can't write it. I can barely understand it if it's spoken. But I mainly survived in the JP version with the help of the English-speaking community that played it at the time, because we had translated menus. We had the SINoALICE wiki being updated constantly with translations and all sorts of things. So it was definitely large part due to them. When will the best nightmares be available? Oh, how the hell is anyone supposed to know that? They'll come out when they come out. Could be tomorrow, could be next year, could be 3 years. Kind of a silly question to ask, I think. We don't know what the future content's going to be. Especially with Replicant coming out so soon. They seem to be changing up the pace. So. Okay. How much stamina do I have? I'm almost full. I should probably use some. Let's play story while I'm sitting here. Let's see, whose story should I do? You know what, let's do Pinocchio. Because you have a melee job, don't you? Yes. Yes, you do. Actually, wait, do I already have Pinocchio class here? No, I do not. So I will just run snow. Yeah. Only gonna run, I think, a few stages though. I just kind of want to keep my stamina low until Gorilla starts, because that's in a very short amount of time, actually. What is that? Let's see here. I'll just use a bot command, I guess. Give me a second here. Dungeon NA. Yeah, 22 minutes. Okay, cool. So there's still some time until the thing starts. Okie doke. Is Wingrid plus Lindworm relevant even for healer? So if you're going to be playing a non-DPS class, it's not as important to worry about that, but you may still want to get a Lindworm summon just to help out the rest of the team. Don't forget, even though you're the healer, your DPS still need to do damage, and CPUs don't use nightmare summons. So if you're not doing co-op, if you're not playing with your friends, you may still want to pack a good nightmare if you're able to, just to help out all the DPS. If you're a DPS yourself, obviously you want to be packing one because you need to buff your own damage, right? Okay. Now to set up a Pinocchio grid, which is really easy. Let's see here. New grid. Pinocchio recommended strongest, because right now we don't have to worry about grid configurations. Oh, did I already set up my sub? Oh, you know what? It's because I never opened my subgrid before, so the game wasn't automatically setting them up. Haha. That seems kind of stupid. Why would they design it like that? Well, whatever. Let's go. It's a absolute scorcher today outside. Again, I don't know why. This summer has been, actually even last summer, it's been excessively brutal, but this one more so because we've gone like a month and a half now, I think, without any kind of like rainstorm for a day. So everything's dead. It's nuts. When do you think weapons upgradable to SR will be phased out, replaced with all L? Well, you'll never get all L because there is still grid cost to play with, right? So no matter what, you're going to have SR weapons in your grid. Grabbing that blue summon for the near event? Yeah, Saturday. That's exactly what I'm doing. That freeze golem is going to be mine. I have 4 good water weapons I'm going to be working on between now and that event. And I should have a very easy time coasting. And then when the near replicant banner drops, rolling on that, hopefully I get my hands on a good amount of wind weapons, and I'm off to the races. Is Red Riding Hood in the shop for 25 good? From what I hear, no, but if you're looking to be a completionist, if you like Red Riding Hood, if you want the common job traits, get it. It's permanent though. There is no rush, there is no pressure. So it's really up to you. If you can spare the money, sure. If it's going to kind of stress you out, don't do it. It's not worth that much. Can you play Kaguya Story with Cinderella? If not, why? You can. You absolutely can. However, the thing to remember is when you're doing story mode, characters get bonuses for their stages, right? This is noted not only when you're picking your... I'll show you in a sec, actually, so just finish a stage. I'll show you. Come on. Load faster. There we go. Okay. So there's 2 reasons why you want to run... Oh, what was that? Clear using at least 1 weapon skill. I didn't even get an attack off. Oh, looks like I'm rerunning that one. Anyways, so when I go to my class... Upgrade class, and we'll actually use Pinocchio as an example here because I'm going to be running his stuff. So you'll see heavy plus 10%, Pinocchio plus stage. Okay, so if I go down the list here, you can see Pinocchio stage in multiple of his class related bonuses. What that means is if you ever fight on a Pinocchio centric stage, typically you'll find those in their story chapters, he gets those bonuses. They will not activate on other maps. So for one, that's important. It means you're giving yourself a natural large boost. Can I get this to... Oh, I can get it to 3. Perfect. I'll take that 50p attack. Come here, you. Sweet. So that's one reason why you want to run the character that matches the story on the chapter. The other reason is, well, you'll see here, Pinocchio, when I go to here, oh wow, I was 2 in a row, he didn't even attack, yeah. Effect up active. This isn't a separate boost. This is just telling you that he is getting his class active boosts on this stage. This is important to keep an eye out for when you're running event maps, when you're running daily missions, whatever. Look for that, because that means the character's passive bonuses for their stage are going to be taking effect. And that extra damage, stats, whatever, real good for you. Can help you out quite a bit. Will we get costumes? There are no costumes. In this game, you play whatever class you are, and that's it. Which I understand is a weird concept to a lot of people, because other mobile games have costumes and summer skins and stuff. SINoALICE, everything is a job, or class, based on the translation. So, yeah, just to keep in mind. But you can have any character you want on your home screen, regardless of what you're playing when you're fighting and doing other stuff. So, yeah, for like on my home screen, right, I have Snow White Cleric, but I don't use her in battle because I'm just kind of building her up right now for Colosseum, so I have a good backline. So yeah. Clearly using one. Did you again not use a weapon skill? Oh my gosh. I thought it was because I forgot to turn on auto. Apparently you're just really bad at using weapons, bud. Also because we do too much damage. There we go. Okay. I don't like leaving crystals behind. Irks me. Are there any noteworthy farmable nightmares in the game? I don't know. You gotta remember, I did not play this game for very long. I have a lot of knowledge about the mechanics, the general underlying workings of the game, but for specific farmables and things like that, I am not the guy. That's what the Discord is for. I believe the link is still in the corner of the stream, is it not? Yeah, that Discord link in the top right corner. Go there. There's a help section for the English community. Lots of help. But right now, I don't think there's really anything noteworthy. So, alright, how much stamina do I have? Alright, so time to sit on this because I should have purification relatively soon. Yeah, I have purification about halfway through Gorilla. Cool. Alright. Are you crystal spamming during Gorilla? Nope, I'm saving everything. I don't care that it's slowing my growth and progression, because the thing is, we're pretty much going to be sitting here for the next week, 2 weeks, with the same grids, characters, and everything. Why rush it? You can blow your crystals now, front load all your farming, sure, but then what are you going to use your AP for later on? Eventually, your inventory is going to get full with upgrade items, right? Eventually, you're going to run out of space for things. Why not just let natural AP take over? And if I notice, a few days before an event starts or something, oh no, I need to level up my weapons, then I'll worry about throwing crystals or something at it. But until then, why bother? Tons of time. Nice. Now, what else we got here? Yeah, I'm waiting for us to start getting access to more purification tickets, because that way we can actually play more. Right now, like most launches of a game, it's really slow at the start. It's weird, right? Because I know, like, for example, Fate Grand Order, when the North American version launched, players could not use their stamina quick enough. You would legitimately have, 15 to 16 overlevels worth of AP, and you just had nothing doing with it. SINoALICE caps your total AP at twice your maximum amount. Oh, no, my cucumber. So, for example, it's still good, don't worry. My max is 88 right now, right? So if I did purification and I ranked up and all that, the maximum I'll be able to get is what? 176? And that's it. Couldn't go any higher. Typically, there is no cap to how much you can have over limit. It's just the limit is how much it'll naturally regen, right? So this game is very what's the word? Not strict. Not even stingy. Not quite sure what the right word would be. But right now for stamina, it very much feels like a normal MMO, or not MMO, a normal mobile game launch. So. How can you get half nightmare classes? Don't worry about half nightmare classes. Those are far enough in the future that there is zero concern. The only thing I will give you as information regarding them, you will have to do well in Coliseum in order to get them. That's all I'm going to tell you. But that is far enough ahead in the future that it is not a valid concern. I'd be more worried about, getting struck by lightning? That seems more likely than worrying about half nightmares right now. In Coliseum, should you use your nightmare as soon as possible? Using your nightmare is a timing thing. If you use it as soon as possible, it will give you that buff, but don't forget, if the other side has debuffers, there go your buffs. Bye-bye. So, timing is important. Timing is important with your nightmares. In normal story mode missions, use it as soon as possible, at least if it's a buff type, because buffs have permanent duration until you're debuffed. And since most bosses and stuff and most enemies in story mode missions, events, and otherwise don't have debuffs typically. You can just use a buff right away. For example, what I've been doing is as soon as a fight starts in the event, when I'm farming the Clockwork Rabbit, I'll immediately pop that S-rank nightmare we got as the pre-reg rewards, because it gives a couple of stacks of melee or physical and magical attack, and that's just permanent for the rest of the fight. So, free damage, man. I'm going to take it. I just noticed the game reminds me of Unison League. Well, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. Well, I haven't played Unison League. I just know about it, so couldn't answer you on that one. Where's my water? Oh. God. Los Angeles was still hotter than this, but man. Let's see, is there really anything else to really talk about with Sinnoh? Because, like, we have so little available for us to do right now because, just launched. And most of everything that needs to be taught. Oh, I can actually check out our rival guild for the next game, eh? Aha. Raven Guild. Level 2, you've also won once in How did you win with one member? Are you guys seeing this right now? Look at this. One member and he won. I'm actually terrified. 20k. So he probably got placed against another one-man guild that was lower than he was. Okay. What's the demons? Yeah, so you can see here, right? So in an hour and 40 minutes, I'm going to have my Coliseum fight. I can go and I can take a look at the enemy team. I can look at their general setups and things like that, right? Go here, list, brings up him. Yeah, and then tapping on them brings up basic information. You can see their stat distribution. So this is something to keep an eye out for if you decide to get really, really sweaty when it comes to Coliseum. Being able to know what the enemy comp is most likely going to be like and things like that, right? Because you can see what job they're running through this, because this is the last, or this is their main party. So I can see he has 21,000 points pretty much. He's running, Crusher, Red Riding Hood. So you know he's a physical attacker, you know his general power distribution, and you can assume how he's going to fight. You can see their entire lineup. And then you can go to Demon Summoning Info, which is the Shinma buff. And so here, we're either going to get Meteoric Calamity, which is going to be Harp, Hammer, Bow, or Seismic Calamity, which is Stave, Hammer, Bow. So you can see right now, Hammer and Bow are the best bets because those are across both summons, meaning you pack those, you're guaranteed to be able to use them when the Shinma buff starts being activated. So that's kind of what I mean. With Coliseum, there's a lot of little things to keep track of, and that's why mono grids aren't really a good idea right now. And if you are going to run a mono grid, it's fine to do. Just make sure you have a variety grid, or the rest of your crew can make up for the fact you have a mono grid. So. Our piece of celery went down the wrong way. Whew. Class XP goes from SP spending. Is it only weapons or nightmares? I believe nightmares count as well. Anything that uses SP in combat should count towards mastery. The exception is Coliseum. I believe that you still do earn mastery from Coliseum, but it's at a reduced rate. Don't quote me on that. But something to keep in mind. And does a level 2 job passive stack with other character level 2 passive of the same job? How to best explain this? So, each job, each class, character, they're all separate entities. So, even if I had a Snow White Cleric, right, my Snow White Cleric, And then I got another class like 5 months from now that's also Cleric and Snow White. They're not the same class. They're not the same job. They're two completely different entities in the game. So, because Cleric 1 has a bunch of buffs, you know, like she has all of her job passives, Cleric 2 doesn't benefit from any of them. So that's something to keep in mind. Each job is completely independent of all the other ones. You see job in the tree, that is only for that one single job. And just because there's another Snow White Cleric or another Pinocchio Paladin, whatever, they're all individual. Hamster wheel. Like, people are putting, I think, too much thought into this game. It's a very simple game, very laid back, it's very casual. The only thing to really worry about is Coliseum. You need to increase your gear score? Sure. Do the guerrilla events, get some armor experience, get some weapon experience, evolve your gear. You have people left and right saying, don't evolve your gear, it's a waste of materials, blah, 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 blah. Sure, you're not wrong. You know, technically anything you invest in these weapons and armor right now is going to be point moot, because when, you know, a couple of months from now, they're all going to be completely gone or replaced with other things. But then why invest in anything at all, right? The materials are just going to burn a hole in your pocket. You have a limited amount of inventory space anyways. Why not use them? Now, the more difficult to renew resources, right? The dragon chains, the bird masks, you know, the level 4 materials and the level 3 materials and things like that. Okay, you know, I can see saying, you know, save those until something good is available. But, you know, you still need to increase your gear score. You still need to improve your overall stats. So, what's your favorite girl? Snow White. Ooh, you really had to be a genius see that one. Yeah, no, Snow White is my favorite character. She has been since, I think, 1 week into launch of JP. Originally, when we started, I heard about the Nier Automata collab, and I picked up this game because Yoko Taro, I had just played Nier, and I looked at A2, and I was like, I really want you. But after playing the game for a short amount of time, I really like Snow White. Character design, voice, the whole 9 yards. So, she's now my favorite. Yep, Gorilla starts soon. I'm only going to be able to run it, once, and I'm going to wait for my purification to come off cooldown. I might even just wait for that in general, do my purification, and then go do Gorilla. I look at that stack of purification tickets I have, and it's like, oh, I really want to use a couple of them just to play and get some more materials and stuff, but it's difficult. Don't forget, if you have Book of Opportunities in your inventory, to use them, because, yeah, that's just free mastery points. I've been looking at using things like my, my drop vials and stuff, but I'm saving pretty much everything. Like, it's the thing, I'm pretty much playing Hoarder mode until we get to the Automata or Replicant events. And that's when I'm going to start using all these resources. Do you play FGO NA? No, I play FGO JP. I've been playing it since about a month after launch. And I've been the admin of the FGO Wiki Discord community for, I think, 2.5 years now. Has it been 2.5 years? Maybe it's only been 2. It's been a good amount of time. Yeah, I've been doing mobile games for quite a while now. I only recently started really being an admin for them relatively recently. But yeah, lots of FGO. I do, obviously, most of my content's on Gunpla Warfare because I love Gundam, I love mech. Yeah, that game's a lot of fun for me. Yeah. Let's see, is there really anything else that needs to get discussed? I've talked about the upcoming events. Oh, that's really it. I do most of my videos, you know, pre-scripted, record them, and do all that. So I Still gotta get used to this whole one, webcam thing, and two, live streaming thing. Trying to do it more often, trying to get more into the groove of what to do. Like, I guess probably mobile game streaming is only really good if you have a lot of AP to spend, because obviously it's a mobile game, there's a stamina pool, you can't just be playing it. But yeah, I could switch over to PSO2, I guess, but the stream is labeled SINoALICE. I feel like that'd be pretty misleading. Oh man. How do you raise your PowerPoints? Huh? Are you talking about the points there? Because if you are, that is your total gear score. So all your weapons have 4 stats on them. Your magical attack and defense, physical attack and defense, and the grand sum of those is the weapon's point pool. And all the point pools of all your gear, from your armor to your main weapons to your subgrid, all that adds together to your total points. So when you find a map that says you can't run this until you have, actually, let's see here. If I go to Shattered Memories, it tells me I can't run it until I have 30,000 points. All that means is I just need to level up some weapons or armor or whatever until my total point pool breaks that limit. I know I might as well run a gorilla now. Really empty the AP so when I do cleaning, I can yield the maximum from it. I really wish I could just click on the bubbles, but what can you do? I know I should be Noir, but I only have 1 run available in terms of AP, so not really too worried. I'm waiting until my purification comes off cooldown, and then I'm going to run it until I run out of stamina there. People are getting past 50k points because they got a very lucky beginner roll. They are using crystals to refill their stamina, so they've been running lots of material dungeons, lots of XP dungeons, and things like that to level up and increase their weapon powers and stuff. My pool of power is slightly on the higher side. I think the average right now for most players is anywhere between 20k and 25k. I'm just above that at almost 30, and that's purely because I used 300 crystals to buy one of each of the weapon packs in the item store. And that gave me a direct power boost because that's a whole bunch of extra stats. So give me just a second here, guys. Where is my... Okay, and I'm back. What did I miss? Is there any way to get drop potions besides Royal Pass? If they're not in the stores or exchange shops right now, currently no. We may get them from events, we may get them from rewards in the future for logins or whatever. But yeah, if you don't see them in the shops or whatnot, that's it. Maybe they're available through exchange. Let's see here. Or awards, achievements, whatever. Let's see. Nope. Just lots of crystals. Lots of crystals. Okay. Well, there's your answer. Yeah. 3 SR weapons from reroll and use a few tickets. I stopped rerolling as soon as I got the Alice Cleric, because she gives really good common traits. I don't know if I'd say the best common traits, but really good. Like at low level, right? Plus 100 physical attack, plus 100 physical defense. Really good class to start the game with because a lot of stats for a very early game. If I do purification while my AP is full, will I still get the AP? if your AP is at the natural cap, so like my natural cap is 88, and you do cleaning, yes, but I highly recommend not doing it only because you can only have a maximum of twice your total AP value, meaning if you do purification and you level up or rank up, you're going to lose a ton of AP from it, because everything you kill while purifying gives you AP and XP. So it's recommended you completely dump your AP and then do the purification. Otherwise, you're just wasting a lot of potential stamina. Question marks, so you read my comment. I'm reading everyone's comments. It's just I'm trying to focus on the questions. Because, yeah, I assume a lot of people still need help while they're playing. Not everyone's in the Discord. Not everyone uses Reddit. So, is what it is. I've done my water. Cool. Let me just open this other drink here real quick. God, that stuff is so good on a hot day. What am I eating? I'm eating just some vegetables. Just have them all chopped up. Something refreshing on a hot day, you know? God, I think it's like, it's like 32, 33 degrees Celsius outside right now. It's just so hot. And there's a decent amount of humidity because of where I live, but we've had no rain, right? So everything is dry, everything is hot, and it's miserable outside. So I'm really hoping we get some rain. Now, actually, you know what? What if I hop over to the Discord's help and questions? Because I know that lots of common things are asked in here. Yeah, this help channel is absolutely flooded. Holy crap. Now, personally, from what I've heard talking to the... Oh, hold on. 31 Celsius, hate it. Yeah, no. I'll tell you. So, during the meetup that Bandai Namco had set up in Los Angeles, I woke up in Canada and I went to the airport. And it was approximately -10, -12 degrees. I get on a plane, fly to Los Angeles, get out of the plane. It was like 27, 28 Celsius. And I'm just like, Jesus, it is hot, right? I'm sweating bullets. Everyone, all the locals are walking around in, heavy get-ups and stuff. And I'm just like, how the hell are you doing this? I hate it. I hate the heat. I hate it so much. But it's just something to deal with when living in Canada. Ugh. So you have 3k gems. What banner are you going to jump in with all that? And what's your end build? Don't have an end build. I'm literally just rolling for snow. And I'm going to do my best to make her viable and usable. As for what am I going to use my crystals on, I'm currently saving for the step up banner for Snow White. That's coming sometime in the future. Because I want her crusher job. And then I'm probably just going to sit on my gems until Replicant, because if we get the Replicant event if we get the event non-balanced for global, we will have weapons that are like a year plus ahead of what we should already have access to. Worst case scenario, near Replicant is a balanced banner, meaning they've gone through and changed the stats of weapons to be more in line with what we have available, which is fine. Makes more sense to do that, so you're not having a bunch of people running around with broken gear. But that lets me just save for more Snow White jobs. So no matter what, I win. Hey. As a big fan of Red Riding Hood, is there any jobs of her coming out soon? I know there's a Cinderella banner coming soon. We have the Snow White step up coming soon. Red Riding Hood. Let me check. I don't actually really know a lot about much of the future banners or stuff because I don't really care too much about spoiling that. I'll check. First, I need to open the wiki here. Or not the wiki, but the database. Let's see. Snow White, Breaker, Cleric, Crusher. So it is chronological. Breaker. When did Breaker come out? The Chakram of Violence. When did that go on Raid Up? Is there an event list here somewhere I can use? Events, yes, perfect. Would have been 2017, 7th month or 6th month? Okay, so a month in. There it is. So, from what I can see here, if we follow the exact same schedule, like the exact same schedule as JP, we're due for a Red Riding Hood banner next month, about halfway to 3/4 of the way through, and that's going to be a Red Riding Hood job. Is there anything else coming after that, though, for her? Not for a long time. So, you're going to have to wait. It seems to be about once a month or so on average for Red Riding Hood jobs. Maybe a little more spaced out. Yeah, man, another random live stream. I was thinking about doing a video for SINoALICE yesterday, but I was kind of sitting on it, thinking about it, and so, you know what? I'll just do a live stream on the weekend. Gives me something to burn my day with, so I'm not just sitting here doing nothing. How was your first real call-out? It wasn't hard. It was an entire guild versus 2 people. It was a very one-sided beatdown. Nier Automata weapon's not as good as Nier Replicant. Yes, and the only reason for that is Nier Automata came out near launch for JP as well. Nier Replicant didn't come out until over a year after the game had released. Year and a half, to be specific. So, yeah, the weapons on that are much, much stronger than what's on the Nier Automata banner, and that's why it's really weird that they're planning on running it so soon. Like I said in my last stream, though, I'm pretty sure it's because they're trying to cash in on the popularity before it dies out. Which is fine. When are the alternatives coming? Whenever they decide to. Again, like I said regarding the Have Nightmares stuff and other things, we don't know what the plan is for the schedule for this game. If the Nier Replicant banner had not been announced, then we would assume that we're running the exact same schedule as JP. However, because Replicant has been pushed up, it means that they are changing how they tackle Global's launch, meaning a lot of things can change. So I could say, oh yeah, it came out in JP, 2 years down the line or whatever, and then it comes out next week for Global because accelerated or something. Who knows? Best you can do is guess. Like, even with the Red Riding Hood banner that I said might be coming next month or something, right? Might be. You might run it sooner. Maybe they'll do some kind of special, like, all characters banner or something to catch us up to JP. Who the heck knows? When's the next Cinderella banner? Well, that got leaked alongside the Snow White Step Up, so probably about the same time. Whenever that is, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. If they even run it. They may have just had the date on there and then changed their schedule. Was the wiki or Game Press? No, so there's SINoALICE DB, which a lot of people use because it has the most complete information about the game. That's the one I typically recommend people use. And you know what? Let's change from top to live so I can see all the messages. There we go. Let's see here. 2 people. Yeah. It's weird right now because a lot of people created their own individual guilds just to get the minimum rewards from Coliseum, which is fine. It's a very viable strategy if you're planning on playing the game casually. It's just disconcerting when you're a full guild and you suddenly get matched up against someone that has significantly less players than you. It just feels weird. It's like you're the big kid on the playground kicking over other people's sandcastles. How much gem do you need for the step up banner? Well, if it matches JP, it's going to be a 5 step up. First one is going to be 150 crystals. 150 crystals. And then should jump up to 300 from there on. But again, that's up in the air. So just a second. All right, back to this. Oh, it's weird having bitter vegetables and a sweet drink. Very weird. All right. Yeah, so anyways, as I was saying, with a step up. So 150, 150, and then it should jump to 300 for the rest of the rolls. The 150s yield typically 5 books, so it's pretty much a normal amount of rolls for what you're paying in crystals. However, the benefit is when you get to the end of the step up, obviously rates increase. So there are benefits to doing a step up. I really hope we get the 500 crystals for guaranteed SS or SR, because those are always nice. It's definitely always worth, because you did the re-rolls, I'm assuming, guys. You know how much of a pain it was to get multiple SRs in one roll, even just one SR in a roll. Typically, you get a bunch of silver books and you'd get nothing. So paying almost twice, pretty much paying 2 rolls worth the guarantee in SR, I think is worth it every time. Do collabs have step up? No idea. Did not play long enough to really see, because by the time I quit JP, I don't think I'd seen any step up banners. So comparing global and JP gadgets can be misleading. Yep, every time. But it's the best guess that you have, right? Because people obviously want to know what's coming, what to save for. And I understand to a degree, right? Because when you play a game and you know what's coming, right? For me, right? I want all the Snow White jobs. I know the banners they came out on. I know when they came out in JP, and I got that shit down to a T. But it doesn't matter, because the schedule may be completely thrown off kilter. I may only have a couple of weeks between Snow White banners versus a couple of months. I just went friggin' flying. Put a little pressure on it. But anyways, the flip side, though, to having clairvoyance as it is it screws up how you approach playing the game. Because no longer is it, I'm going to do the best with what I have. It's, how do I absolutely min-max between now and this future content, right? And that's why people are asking, when do Half Nightmares come out so I can get really good at Colo? What's the best thing to get from your tutorial role? Where's the tier list? And things like that. I get it. I've played games with that mentality before, but SINoALICE is a very different game than what I think a lot of people are used to. And there is no real best. There is no real meta. Obviously, if you're running a full spec weapon gacha and stuff, you're good, but take it easy. It's a very relaxed game. Knowing everything about the future won't help you very much in this. Let's see. I should probably put my glasses on again. What job's going to be in the next Cinderella banner? I can't actually remember what it was. Let me check. There we go. 6 month. There it is. Looks like sorcerer because it has a book in her hands. So that's what I'm assuming. That'll be a safe bet. Let me check the job list real quick. Cinderella, gunner, sorcerer. Yep, definitely looks like it's a sorcerer. So. And it doesn't look like it's actually a gacha. It's an event clear. So you don't actually have to use crystals on getting her. You just have to clear the event. So for all you Cinderella fans out there, that should help you out a little bit, right? Yeah, mana. So that's the thing, right? Is the gameplay in SINoALICE is very laid back. So playing for the story is perfectly viable. Now I'm just going to do my purification here real quick, because I want to do the guerrilla warfare, and then I'll go back to answering questions while I'm autoing through that. I can't remember what my record for this was on JP. But you have to get some really lucky spawns on this to do well. Almost. Cool. So, story event, and time to AFK this and go back to answering questions. Intermediate. Yeah, no one gets a boost here. So, Snow, lead the charge. Alright, what's going on over here? Should I level up rank B armor? I ranked some of mine up to A, and that's only because I need the stats, frankly. Up to you. I just wouldn't say upgrade it to S or anything. Why did you quit JP? Coliseum times. Plain and simple. The guild that I was in was the initial mod team of the unofficial SINoALICE Discord. And our time zone that we had set to work for everyone was like 5 a.m. or something my time. And it wasn't working out. So I eventually had to quit because, one, I couldn't really read anything in the game without waiting for a translation or anything, which kind of got tiresome after a while. I wasn't really able to participate in Coliseum, which meant our guild lost quite often because I wasn't the only one that couldn't make it. And lots of rewards, obviously, are gone because of that. And, yeah, it's just situational. I just really couldn't keep up with the Coliseum. So, did they fix story cutscene crash in Gundam Warfare? Maybe? I don't know. I've never had a crash, so I honestly wouldn't know if they fixed it or not. Did you play Arknights? Yes, actually, I played the Korean version. I believe I actually made a video where I talked about the fact I had played Arknights. Yeah, I was picking a gacha video, and I talked about how I'd been playing Arknights. I love it, frankly. Like, okay. And the UI is easily one of the best I've ever seen in a mobile game before. It's crisp, it feels good to use, it's very expressive, I love it. The gameplay, very straightforward, very easy for even a beginner to grasp. It seemed relatively generous with the gacha currencies and everything. However, it was tower defense. I grew up playing a lot of tower defense games, balloons and things like that. So another tower defense game is something I just don't think I'll ever be able to sit down and play. I played the Arknights Korean version for like probably a week and a half, but I just couldn't deal with it. I just couldn't deal with the fact there was another tower defense game. I've had enough of those. Nier Automata didn't get a step up, while Nier Replicant got a step up. Yeah, but that's also a difference of when the banners came out, right? We don't know what they're going to be like in global, so we just kind of got to sit on our thumbs and wait. In Calo, what's the best ratio of Vanguard Rearguards? Typically 5 and 10. 5 Vanguards, 10 rear. I think that's forced by the game. So, yeah. Is there any benefits in just collecting one character but all jobs? So, frankly, the only reason you collect jobs, one, you like the character, two, for the common stats. Because even though you have a weapon grid, an armor grid, a nightmare grid, and then subgrids for all of those, the common stats obtained from jobs do add up over time, right? For example, the Pinocchio job that I just leveled up to 3 earlier in the stream gives me plus 50 physical attack. Not a big deal. It's 50, whatever. That's like 1 level tops in a weapon. However, let's say I have 15 jobs that give me plus 50. All of a sudden, that has become a much more formidable number, right? 750 points. That could be the difference between killing somebody in one hit or them just surviving and getting a full heal. So that does become important. But it's more than that, right? You have other stats as well, defenses, HP, and all sorts of stuff. So you collect jobs for the long-term stat investment of your characters, because it applies to everyone when you get a common skill. But, yeah. I probably should use a skip ticket. I don't know if I'll be able to burn all my stamina, because I'm not exactly paying full attention to the game right now. Focusing on talking. Temple of Alice, be gone. Church of Snow is the only one that exists. Unfortunately, I'm done my snack now, which sucks. I think I'll go back to upgrading my SR Scythe. Actually, no, I should probably make sure my water weapons are dealt with first, because I want to make sure I'm prepped for Automata. Well, yeah, that's the thing, right, Ace? That's why typically people split off like spoiler content into their own separate places. There's a lot of things that people are worrying about in this game that's not going to be relevant for such a long period of time that it's just ridiculous to be concerned about, right? Like, people are worried, when is this job going to be available? It's like, well, the character's not even going to be out for like 5 months probably. Why are you so worried about this right now? Oh, well, I want to plan and save up. And dude, just play the game. You see something you like on a banner, roll for it, right? Just keep a spark sitting around, right? 4,500 crystals, you're guaranteed to get the job that you want if it's in a gacha. After that, everything else is just fun money. Right, that's how I'm treating Grand Blue right now. I have a full spark sitting there. I'm ready to literally just gacha whatever character I want. It's just, I'm just going to wait until I see something in the banner that makes me go, oh yeah, that's what I want right now. Let's see, 59? Oh, do I not have, I guess I'm out of stamina already, eh? Yes, 26. Cool. Okay. Well, I guess I'll take a few moments here and upgrade my gear. Okay, so water weapons. My spear's still not maxed, but all my melee weapons are good, so I can get that to 72. Cool. Do that. Because getting this to 80 is going to be a large stat boost, but that's not enough experience anymore. So change. B swords just ain't doing it. Let's put more into some of these lower tier weapons, because that'll yield the best stat returns right now. Yeah, 29 out of 50. Give me those stats. Yes. I don't think, though, I have enough materials to really do anything else in terms of ranking up, though, do I? No. Okay. I should be, yes, almost 29k. Perfect. Sweet. And I'm almost at a ding as well. Fantastic. Endgame Snow White. That's the thing, right? Is I've looked at all the different jobs that Snow White has, and I know which one I want to play for, like, end game. It's just like, it's going to take a long time to amass enough weapons and stuff to really get to a point where using her will make sense. So, yeah. I have to get my hands on a lot of tomes. One question, why all blue weapons for Nier? Yeah, it's literally just all fire stuff. So the reason that you want water is so that you're hitting super effective on everything. And that's also why Freeze Golem is the recommended first nightmare to trade with the Royal Medals. Is that way, when the Nier Automata event hits, you're doing the most damage you can and you have all the right buffs. So it's one of those min-max things if you're if that's what you're into. Trying to save as much crystal for the Nier collab. Do you think I should spend my charm medals for weapons? Charm medals save until you can trade for the 300 Twilight crystals, because, you know, it's a free 10 roll, and Twilight crystals eventually do start to dry up, so make sure you're getting every single source of them that you can, because you're not going to be able to get, you know, 3,000 crystals in a couple of days like we're able to do at launch, right? And then after that, look into getting your hands on the job that's in there, the Pinocchio job, and the Arcana that goes with it. And after that, then it's just trade for whatever materials you need at the time, as long as, you know, you have enough saved up for the next Twilight Crystal exchange, because that is a consistent source once a month for 300 crystals, which is a big deal. Should you level A weapons? Early game, yes. Level them up to whatever their normal cap is. Do you evolve them, however? That's really up to you. Do you plan on rolling the gacha anytime soon? Do you plan on just kind of sticking with what you have and saving until your favorite character comes into the gacha? It all depends on how you want to approach the game at that point. In terms of absolute, utter min-max, no, because all the weapons we have right now are going to be replaced. But simultaneously, the answer is also yes, as you need to improve your gear score in order to be able to obtain more materials. So, yeah. Hopefully that answer was clear as mud. What I'm aiming for. These swords shouldn't exist. A and B weapons are interesting, mostly later on in the game. Once you start really building your grids, you're going to want a lot of A and B weapons because they make amazing fodder to level skills and stuff. Also, charm medals, right? But yeah, overall, right now, they're kind of clunky, but they're a necessary evil, right? When does my Coliseum start? It's like just under an hour. Okay. That'll be fun. I really hope we get up to a higher rank. We gotta win 5 games for that. Yeah, you do get some charm medals through Coliseum, but I think it's like only rank S you really start getting the good stuff from there. Yeah, what's B give? I guess B is also a sizable amount of them. Yeah, C and D are practically the exact same. What about S? Yeah, that's a silly amount. But yeah, for Colo, you kind of want to aim for B. A rank is like the ideal for casuals. If you can get S rank, power to you. Like absolutely sit in S rank. But A rank for kind of like mid-highish tier, I guess, and B rank is kind of like just at least try to get to B rank to coast on the rewards available in there, which shouldn't be too hard because there's going to be a lot of solo guilds, I think, because a lot of people don't care. Right? They want the absolute minimum. They're just in it because it's free stuff. And that's fine. There's always got to be people like that because, someone's got to help you boost your levels, right? Nah, man. This time it's a one-man guild. Last time we fought a two-man guild. This time it's a one-man guild. He actually did win a fight, so I'm quite impressed with his combat prowess, being able to fight an entire guild on his own. What is the AP cap? I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. And the only reason I say that is even my JP account, I think is... What rank is this? This is 46. I don't even think I ever got to like near triple digits when I was on JP. So, I don't know what the cap is, but I do know that it does increase a sizable amount. And... yeah, I'll be able to run a little more than just a couple to a few of the XP stuff. But simultaneously, we also get much easier access to purification tickets in the future. So you won't be sitting around with only like 1 or 2 a day. You'll have a lot more available. Yeah. I'm just waiting for my Royal to run out so I can get that Nightmare. I really want to get that out of the way. The benefits it gives are actually really good, too. I was actually worried about how long I was going to sit down and play SINoALICE originally. I didn't think I'd be able to put a lot of time into it. But I realized that it's a lot more enjoyable than the JP launch was. And that's definitely because there's a lot more polish involved with the servers and everything. And beyond that, the being able to read everything definitely helps a lot because it's a lot less intimidating to play a game where you can actually read. See, Fate is interesting because I play Fate Grand Order JP and have no issues, but that's because most of the menus are in English. Even from launch, a lot of the stuff was in English because English is cool, right? But SINoALICE JP, not so much. And I can't blame them. It was a very niche game from a more or less at the time niche franchise, right? So, but it's a lot more enjoyable now. I wonder what the next challenge is here, because that's 2 Colo. I missed my first Colo because I switched guilds like a couple of hours before my fight. I should have done the fight and then switched, but I'm a big brain. What can I say? Yeah. I think if I were to make like a complaint regarding one thing here, it's that whole it's literally just in the upgrade class section where it labels class and tells you, because the way that they've gone to express things in this game is a class is a class. So all paladins are paladins, all crushers are crushers and things like that, which is fine, don't get me wrong. But the issue comes in specifically where it says, like, for this class, heavy plus 10%, right? Does that mean all crusher classes get this 10%? Is it just this character with this class? Things like that. Like, I know that it's only for this specific class and character combination, and even if there was another Pinocchio, Crusher, whatever later, it would be completely different. But for a new player hopping in, it's really confusing. I didn't really think about that until I'm poking around on the DB here, looking at future jobs and stuff for Snow White, and it's just like, man, new players are going to have it rough, because the translation's not helping. Why did Snow become your waifu? Just, I like her. I like the art, like the character, like the voice. I got a thing for that silver white hair. I fumble enough to know how to navigate through Japanese games and learn stuff. Yeah, I still have like no knowledge of the Japanese language. Like, it's actually nuts, right? Like, you'd think after playing Japanese games for long enough, you'd kind of have a grasp of it, but apparently I'm just a big dumb and I just never really learned any of it. Already wanting a Final Fantasy 14 collab. Yeah, I would not hold my breath. I wouldn't hold my breath. No. Oh man. There's really nothing else to really do for SINoALICE because it's kind of it. Only half the viewers as last time. Looks like everyone got their answers and buggered off. Yes and no. Yeah, those are the only ones that I can easily recognize when it comes to playing games is yes and no. That's only because every single time I boot up FGOJP, it goes, hey, do you want to clear your cache? Yes, no. Had to learn that one pretty quickly. It was a matter of grave importance. The Yes Nightmare in 310 worth grinding for. If I remember what the Help Questions channel was saying in the Discord, it's not terribly worth it. Like, it's a stat stick, right? So if you're looking for stats, sure. But if you're looking for like a summonable nightmare that'll really do stuff, not so much. What other gacha you playing now? Obviously, SINoALICE. I play a healthy amount of Gunpla Warfare. Trying to keep up with that game. I play Fate Grand Order. I've been playing that since launch. Although I guess play is kind of a misnomer. I'm not really playing it. I'm existing in it. I log in. I get my free currencies and stuff like that. I will rarely participate in an event if it's worth it. And then I just kind of AFK and I don't really do anything. And that's only because I've been playing the game for so long that there's not a real need for me to actually play the game anymore. I get a new character. I have enough XP stuff laying around to instantly get it to 100 if I wanted to. I have enough grails to do whatever I need. I have enough materials to ascend, to skill level, everything. There's just no drive to really play FGO. I still play it, though, because a lot of my friends play it. It gives us a really good topic of communication. The biggest bot I've developed is actually for Fate Grand Order, so keeping that maintained has kind of forced me to stay in the loop for the game as well. And, yeah, I like the game. I like talking about it. It's just playing it is such a slog, because once you hit a certain point, there's just no real challenge to it anymore. It's more of a chore. 3 more days till first Ann of news. Now, is that for JP or NA? Because to my knowledge, JP still hasn't announced a stream, but I haven't really been paying attention to the announcements because for the last week I've been busy with SINoALICE. Charm medals. Charm medals, as I keep saying, spend on the Twilight Crystals first, because that's 300. It's a 10 roll. It's totally worth it. After that, get the job, the Arcana cards that are in the shop, but only for the ones that you have, right? Don't get the Riding Hood Cleric unless you have the job, which is a paid job. So it's pretty clear cut. You either have it or you don't. And after that, just trade for materials you need, right? Exhibition quests, Those aren't challenges, though. Like, that's the problem, right? Is I have enough of a character selection in Grand Order that there is no real challenge remaining. You know, I can run double Merlin with Arjuna Altar. And I have enough craft essences to have a fully limit-broken Kaleidoscope on Arjuna, along with fully limit-broken 2030s on both Merlins. Turn 1, NP Bomb. Turn 2, Crypt Bomb. Whatever I'm fighting is now dead, and there's nothing you can do about it. Right? I could run double Scotty if I need to. the game has given us so many options, and I've just kind of hit that point where I can just AFK the most efficient to farm. Actually, have they announced anything for the Japanese version other than the exhibition quest? Oh, FGO recently got an engine update that really made the load times short. So if you dropped it because of load speeds, FGO NA recently got the update. JP's had it for quite a while now. So to the FGO news portal. Oh, hey, we get... Oh, yeah, the 1800 Breakthrough campaign already got that. Exchange tickets. Interlude campaigns. Yeah, no, there's nothing really in here about any future FGO JP stuff, which is lame, but what can you do? Is the rabbit event worth farming? Yes, as all the items in the shop yield are very good. Like, it's a good yield, but it's only truly worth farming if you're able to run. I think it's like verse 7 and higher, because that's when you get an actual decent amount of coins for AP spent. Up until that point, it's just run the same mission until you empty out the 15 coin stacks, and then just keep moving up the chain. But if you're able to auto verse 7 onwards, you should be farming the highest that you can, because the stuff that's in the Clockwork shop is quite nice to get your hands on early game. Until they hit you with Buster Lock now. Well, that's why you run debuff clears on your Mystic Code. Done. Super difficult. Would it be difficult to change from a cleric to gunner halfway through depending on draws, or is it already fixed based on how I started? You can always change your grid whenever you want to. You can always change your job whenever you want. I actually discussed this with a friend of mine in one of my Discords. Well, not one of mine, in a Discord that I'm in. Easiest way to phrase this: if you've ever played Grand Blue Fantasy, it's a lot like running multiple weapon grids. You can easily change between the two of them, and you can easily build more than one grid. Maintaining them is where the difficulty comes in, because yes, you can easily build a grid for a gunner and a grid for a cleric, and you can level up the weapons and everything, and you're off to the races. But when spec gadgets come out, when new weapons come out, and things like that, suddenly now, instead of just maintaining one grid, you're maintaining two. The price and difficulty exponentially increases for every grid that you add onto it. That's why it's typically you build a fun grid for events and story and things like that, and that's the one that you really want to play and you enjoy. And then you have a serious colo grid that you actually put sweat and tears into, because, you know, remember, there is a subgrid. All those colo weapons will still give stats and stuff to your main grids, granted at a lower amount. But that way you can still play your favorites, you can do whatever you want, but you simultaneously have access to a high-level competitive grid. How many points is verse 7? I think it was 20k. Maybe it's a little less than that. It should be 20, 25, and then 30, so. Even the new crit damage reduction can mess up Arjuna Altar. Thing is, though, if you run a mission and you find that crit damage reduction's there, you just go for flat damage. If you get a Buster Lock, you just run something that does quick. There's so many options available in Fate that it just doesn't matter. So. You're out, Alan? Alright, cool. How many points? Yeah, I already answered that. Okay, cool. We're all caught up again. Oh. Should I buy the weapon packs on the shop? If you're talking about the 150 crystal packs, I personally bought one of each, and that's because it is a quick, cheap boost to all of your stats, and it is 300 crystals for both, which is the equivalent of a 10 roll, but you are guaranteed 2 SRs from it, which is much better rates than the gacha. So, up to you. I say it's worth it if you can spare the crystals because, it's free stats. So, how to check stage CP requirement. Just go to the stage and take a look. If you can run it, then it'll be open. You can click on it. If it is closed, you will be met with a message very similar to what I get when I try to run the next verse of Clockwork, where it says I need to have a power level of whatever. So it's pretty cut and dry whether or not you can run a mission. I actually think I still need to get a couple of tokens from here, don't I? Oh no, I'm done. Cool. Yeah. All that liquid has gone through me. I will be right back. Let me just mute this. All right. Well, mana fusion, right? The thing is that's not profitable for most games, right? That concept of making everything viable, and I'm really glad FGO did it, and it shows that they have a proper sense of balance in their game, or what some people call too easy. But then again, to run 1-2 star setups needs to be very specific characters, all maxed out, things like that. But overall, I find that with Fate and comparing it to other games, it's kind of a lost cause because Fate is very unique. And that right after I think the first year of Fate Grand Order, it has been solely carried by the sheer amount of people that play it and the franchise itself. The game is crap, to put it nicely. And there's too many options for people to play with, so it's easy in that sense. The challenge content isn't very challenging. Even the most recent story missions, once you figure out the gimmick, it's super easy, right? There are still difficulty, challenges and things like that it throws in, but all of it's just gimmicks. If you have the setup to bypass a gimmick, then you win. And that's all Fate has kind of turned into. It gives them a lot of flexibility when developing characters and servants because they can add in really unique skills and the players will do things with them. But I don't think very many games can do the same thing just because, one, Fate has a very specific combat style, and two, it's not profitable from a business perspective to allow people to completely beat the game with free units. So you really want them to roll. You want to bait them with as hard as you can with flavor of the months. Alchemist Code comes to mind, where it was really easy to get a character, but their first job was bad. You had to roll multiple copies of them to unlock better jobs. And the game was clearable with like any character, sure, but you had to have their specific job zone to be good, meaning you had to roll the gacha. Girls Frontline, right? That's another game that's really easy to play, right? A lot of characters are very, very good, but in order to clear things fast, efficiently, right, you got to roll the most recent units and whatever, get the broken characters and stuff. Gacha and FGO's ability to clear it with whatever effectively is just antithetical to each other. It's all it is. It's cool, but Fate does have a rather heated fan base, that is for sure, but I found that it only really got rabid when the global version of Grand Order got released. Before that, it was pretty relaxed, pretty tame, at least in the communities I hung out in. Whenever you had fake Grand Order threads, whenever you had discussion about it, it was more or less level-headed. Hey, this character's pretty cool, let's talk about whatever. Then Global got released and it just turned into a cesspool of autistic screeching, spamming crappy fan art and all sorts of things. And if you so much as say anything negative about a character, you're bombarded by like hundreds of people screaming at you. And it's just like, dude, why is it like this for every global release? Why? Oh man. I wonder if I can keep this going until Colo pops up. That'd be fun. Do a Colo on stream and you guys can watch the absolute one-sided beatdown while I discuss Colo mechanics. That sounds like a good idea, actually. I like that idea. Oh. Maybe I should switch over to like Fate or something while I'm waiting. Have to set up a whole Fate streaming thing because when I formatted my computer due to Phantasy Star Online, I lost all of my really nice templates I had been using in the past, which is a real shame. But what can you do? So when is that? It's going to be in a half hour from now. So it's at 4. Do I switch to another game? I might as well. So I'm not just sitting here. I can still answer SINoALICE questions. Yeah. Alright, let me just quickly set up then a Fate. You guys aren't going to see anything for a minute here while I configure it, so my apologies for that. Let us add the alerts. The chat box. Excellent. So chat, alert. I'll move that over to the other side because I think it works better on the right side. Window capture. We'll add game streaming. And let me just boot up Fate real quick. Fit to screen and move it below everything. Okay, and now comes the fun of cropping off the sides. Got a scratch in my throat. There we go. Oh, I'm not allowed to just press the up arrow. I have to manually click. Oh, that's going to be annoying very quickly. There we go. I think that's enough, right? I don't know, we'll just say 90. A little less. Oh yes, we're setting it up live. That's good. I can always focus on making it look better later. Cool. Recenter. Oh, look at that. That pretty much takes up the entire screen. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And now I just need to put my webcam back on here for you guys. Video. Webcam. That is not my webcam. Oh, that's why. Remove. That's a real pain. There we go. And let's just modify this. Shrink a little bit so I'm not taking up the full screen. Okay. And I think that should be good. Is that centered? Not really. We good now? Real pain centering all this. I wish there was an automatic method for centering it with my other objects. But what can you do? Okay. I'm going to call that a day. Lock all of it down. Yeehaw. So back to this. The PSO2 install was truly the worst thing I think I've ever experienced with the game launch. Personally, I got a really bad experience with it. So what happened, right, is I downloaded it from the store and it worked fine, right? No, I'm kidding. It didn't work at all. So first of all, I registered, no issue. 2, downloaded the launcher, no issue. Tried launching the launcher. Didn't have permissions. Not a big deal. Did the permissions fix, life is cool. We're downloading through the updater, life is okay. All right, game is updated. We got all the files. Alrighty, bada boom, let's click play. No permissions. Go and give myself permissions. Launch the game. The game boots. We're on the main menu screen. Yeah, baby. No account is signed in, and I can't get past the login screen. Okay, you know what? Not a big deal. It just means I have to reinstall the Xbox-related stuff. I got this. No. So after about a day of fighting and struggling, I decided I'm just going to reformat. You know, all cool. So first I did the built-in Windows 10 refresh. After it finished, I tried booting up my computer and using it. I lacked permissions to like 90% of my machine. I couldn't run Steam, didn't have permissions. Couldn't update games, had no permissions. Couldn't run Discord, didn't have permissions. Fought to the death, got access to Discord, played a couple of games of Dota with some of my friends. All right, let's just do a full reinstall of Windows. Put in a recovery disk, all the 9 yards. My hard drive was corrupt. Turns out, after doing some tests and stuff on it, the Windows Store had somehow left a couple of folders that had corrupted the actual hard drive, and nothing could access these files, meaning I could not properly delete the data on those sectors of the disk. So the entire thing was shot, and Windows would not install onto the disk. Went out to the store, bought a couple of new hard drives, installed Windows, the game installed no problem, life was great. After about a week, not even a week actually, I think it was 3 days, my install deleted itself. So I said, screw it, nuke the whole install of PSO2, not Windows. Use the tweaker, no problems. And I'm going to tell you right now, in the future of any other game launches through the Microsoft Store, I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole. That has to be the single worst platform I've ever experienced in my entire life for anything. And that is saying something. I've dealt with some serious crap, because there's been so many bad game launches, but oh my god, it was such a waste of my time. But the game's great, so I guess it's worth it at the end of the day, right? Is it a bad idea to create my own guild if I have a few friends to invite? So it's a double-sided thing, right? First of all, creating your own guild with your friends is perfectly fine. If anything, that makes a very strong guild, at least socially. It means you're going to all be there at the same time. You can talk, share information, things like that, and that's great. That's amazing. The flip side is not having a full guild means that you're not going to really be able to take on getting your rank too high, because the second you get matched against a 15-man guild, even if they're all CPUs and not there, you're probably still going to lose, because it's quite hard to, outdo, a team that has 10 more people than you or whatever, right? It's not impossible, it's just an uphill battle. And you can always set it, though, your guild anyways, to open recruitment. You can always go and recruit in discords and things. So there are options available for you guys. But if you can't find a guild that already has good call-out times, absolutely, make your own. For a collab banner, do you need to get 5 copies of weapons through gacha? Okay, so yes, if you want to fully limit break a weapon to its absolute maximum, you will have to roll multiple copies through the gacha or trade it in with the spark metals. That's your prerogative, whatever you want to do with that. But I would recommend that you don't worry about limit breaking them unless it is a very good weapon. So sparking is mainly there to help you get a job, not so much the weapon, because it'll only get you a single copy of the weapon, which only goes so far. If you're looking for like getting really good weapons from a spec weapon banner, you got to pack a lot of crystals or a very, very big bank account. Or you just luck sack. Do you have slots for FGO? Would you add to MTFL slot? I believe I still have an empty slot in my friends list. Let me look. I clean it out. Oh, whoops. I clean it out regularly, often, because there's a lot of people that just don't play this game anymore. You know, they get bored and they quit. Let me see. Friends list. I have 8 slots open. So if you want to add me, you can. Where's my friend code should be here. Yes, I'll leave that up while I'm talking. How do you get Royal Medal? Royal Medal is only through buying the Royal Service. Your first week is heavily discounted, and future purchases are not. It is still, though, if you're going to consistently play SINoALICE and you have a little bit of money off to the side you can use, it is absolutely worth every single dollar. Not just for the potions you get for drop rate and things like that, but also for the half purification time. So instead of waiting 8 hours, you only have to wait 4. And for all the other small benefits it gives you, the daily skip tickets, obviously the royal medals, and all sorts of other things. You obviously get crystals too for buying it, so no matter what, you're getting something back, at least tangibly right away. So yeah, I would say that it's actually a very well thought out service in that it is worth the money you put into it. Paid like current cleric, is it worth to get in the long run as an attacker? The RRH cleric job has no expiration date. It is a permanent purchasable job. You don't have to worry about buying it now. You can buy it whenever. In the future, purchasable jobs may be added. Those may not be permanent. What you can do to check is see if there's an expiration date. If you go into the shop right now in SINoALICE and look, you can see that things have expiration dates, or it's only available until. Cleric does not have that limit on it, meaning it is permanent, which is nice. You know, less to worry about. Also notice that the music stopped. And you know what, we're going to go back, because I really, really like the menu music from SINoALICE. Stuff is just so nice. Such a good soundtrack. Okay. Yeah, Royal Medal Nightmare. That's like the best use of Royal Medals, because those are just consistently good in the game, and they're amazing stat sticks. Normal has plus 50, gacha has plus 100, not sure about paid. Paid is 75. The total stat doesn't really matter so much. It's definitely more about, do you need the stats? Is it worth the amount of money you pay for it? If you really like Red Riding Hood, you want to collect all the jobs, obviously it's a no-brainer. But if you're looking at it from a meta perspective, you know, is $30 really worth that? That depends on the person. To me, not really. Are there any difference between paid Twilight Crystals with free? No, there's just purely the differentiation between paid and free. Everything in the store can be bought with free or paid crystals, and from what I hear from the JP people, it is purely there so whales can flex how much they've bought. Or keep track of it, however you want to phrase it. If you've been remaining as a support, is it worth upgrading DPS weapons? I would focus on upgrading your support weapons primarily, and once you've done that, then investing into the DPS weapons, as subgrid does only yield a percentage of the total stats to your main grid. So obviously it's much more worth investing in the primary stat pool than the alternative. Oh, you sent a friend request? Cool. Let's just reload the friends page because I've had it not work sometimes. Do I have actual space in here? And what was your IGN? Oh, okay. Let's see. You'll probably be sitting somewhere near the bottom. Oh! Nail Hunter added me back. Cool. Oh yeah, there you are. Somehow I'm dumb and I'm... Wait, is that? No, that's not it. Ah, font selection is what got me. Cool. Okie doke. Oh, Nemo. Yeah, sure, I'll add Nemo. I like that Dantes. What's your lineup? No, that's gonna be a hard miss. And I don't like anyone else on this list. Goodbye. Delete, 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 delete. They really need a delete all button. Okay. 10 out of 10. Okay. Oh. How do you get Royal Medal again? You literally just buy the Royal Service. You get 1 coin per week purchased. That's it. So if you buy the current discounted 1 week, you get a medal. And then after that, if you buy the 4 weeks, you can immediately trade for a nightmare. Meaning we're going to see a lot of players with those really good nightmares in like 3 days. Now, time to burn some stamina on this. You know what, I'll do some of these missions, because I started them and I never finished them, because I'm a giant lazy sack of shit. Yeah, I'll use this. Let's just nuke the build. Easiest thing to do here is Arjuna, Merlin, Favor. Backline can be whatever, so 0 cost. I'll give you a limit broken 2030. Where is it in here? It's somewhere. And I'll also give you a K-scope, so that way turn 1, I can just eat. Defense down plus big nuke. Gotta do it. Now, I might as well farm Bond, I guess. So where's my... There's 1. Where's the good one? I must be absolutely... Oh yeah, there it is. It was under my finger. I am blind. Avenger, what's your cost? 4, fantastic, and that means I can run tea time as well. Cool. Okay. Easy mode. Oh, it looks like I didn't quite trim everything off the right side there, huh? How are supports in solo questing? Like, you know, they're a thing. I don't really know how useful I'd call them. It truly just depends on who you end up getting in the draw, right? If you get a good character, then it's great. I really need to trim off that right side. What happened here? Why did I think that was good? Clearly I am drunk. Well, you know what? It's because it was good on the main menu, but it wasn't good for this. Wait, why was it good on the main menu? The entire thing has borders. I'm mighty confused right now. Mighty confused. This is what I get for playing with a weird resolution. And stretch. Cool. Okay. I'll take a look when I go back to the main menu. 1 and 3, yeah, cool. We'll just do that. 1, 2, 3. Are you a whale in any game? No. The only game you could argue that I'm a whale in is Fate Grand Order, but that's only because I've spent money on it over the last 3 years more than I have, or not 3 years, 5 years more than I have other games. I have spent on every GSSR banner in Fate Grand Order, and I have purchased 2 large packs for Semiramis when she came live. Other than that, like, I'll throw maybe the odd couple of bucks here, a couple of bucks there, because I get a lot of enjoyment out of these games, and I feel like supporting the developers. But typically, I spend very, very little overall. Is it worth farming S Nightmare? As a stat stick, sure. It's a farmable nightmare. It's S rank base. It has a decent stat pool, but it's not really worth using. Friend the sweaties. Yeah, you could easily do that, that's for sure. Now, 1, 2, 3. Completely unnecessary, but cool. Phase 2, and I should be able to just crit stick this one. That's a real pain. Cool. Didn't get nearly enough Buster. If I had gotten one more Buster card for him, I could have just done crits. But, say la vie. Merlin will have his Noble Phantasm too, I guess. I should just be running 3 AoE Zerkers, I guess. That'd make this a lot faster than this plodding run. I should also pop Guts next turn so I don't lose Arjuna. That'd be awkward. Guts. Is it better to farm XP cards in the story or 30 AP EXP event rotation? Gorilla is always the best thing to farm XP in. However, in terms of effective stamina to drop usage, you should farm the highest difficulty purely for the crystals. Once you've got all the crystal challenges done, farm the 30. It yields the best drop to stamina usage returns. One, 2, 3. Cool. If you're farming for levels, hit the 40 AP. Yeah, if you're farming for weapon draw, like the weapon XP stuff, then you farm the 30 AP. But if you're looking to get your hands on like rank experience, you farm the hardest one. But at that point, like, why are you even there if you're farming rank experience? It's not really worth it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I did not get a Buster, of course. Why would I ever get a Buster? A single Arjuna Buster would have finished the fight right then and there. My mind's turned over to FGO. Oh. I'm playing FGO, but I'm answering questions about SINoALICE, so. Oh, well, this is nice. I like the way that this turned out, though. The screen looks nice. 10 out of 10. I don't like the fact I had to stretch it, but when I get to the main menu, we'll see what's up. I should probably check my stream on YouTube properly and make sure that it's actually formatted the way that I'm hoping it looks. Because, yeah, that'd be awkward otherwise. Let's mute this. I said mute. There we go. Okay, so I can still see some pixels on the right side. It's a good thing I came and checked. Edit transform. Okay. And I gotta wait for my stream to update. So while I'm waiting... Oh, hey, perfect, cool. Let's just finish this fight. Buster. Buster. Completely unnecessary, but we're going to do it anyways. Okay, that looks like it got rid of all the blue. Cool. So now it's just you transform, stretch to fit. Cool. Okie doke. Oh, he had invulnerability on. Didn't even notice because I'm so busy doing other stuff. Good job, me. Big brain. But it's fine. Doesn't really matter. Give another buster down. Oh, and in like, what? Yeah, 10 minutes my colo starts. So in like 5, I'm going to hop over to that. Enough time to run, I think, one more of these if I run 3 Berserkers. Oh. Yeah. Okay. So, master that and triple Berserkers. Who else should I run? I guess I'll run Raiko and I'll run Musashi, sure. Whatever. She a buster. She a buster like Corey. Easy call of you anyway. Faced a whale guild. Yeah, it's luck of the draw, right? When it comes to multiplayer stuff, is you either get really lucky or you don't. Oh yeah, the SQ count. God, I'm so excited. I'm actually thinking of doing a live stream when the announcement. Like, I'll probably stay up until 5 a.m. to do the stream. I'm so excited for the 5th anniversary. You know, as much as I don't play the game, I love all the free SQ, the items and everything. I'm really hoping we get a SSR, like an actual full SSR pick ticket. Like, oh man, it's gonna be great. Because I already have a decent amount of SQ, and I have a bunch of it banked in my inventory that I haven't claimed yet. So, oh, I can. Okay. So what we'll do is this, and then we'll do that, that, that. Okay. Yeah. I'm looking forward to Grand Blue getting its Flash Fest in, a week and a half, because that'll be my spark, and I'll be doing another video for that. I may actually even live stream it, and then just clip the really important stuff. And then obviously, you know, Fate Grand Order, the anniversary, I'm looking forward to that, and I'm really hoping we get a really good banner character. I'm also looking forward to Summer Part 2. For SINoALICE, it's just kind of sitting on our thumbs waiting for new content to drop whenever that happens. And yeah, for GBGW, there's a big announcement coming regarding their version 2.0 or whatever, which I'm really, really looking forward to as well, because that's a meta changer. They're completely destroying the meta we've built up to this point, which is exciting, scary and exciting. So lots of things going on over the next couple of months for all these mobile games that I play. All of it kind of condensed into a single point, which is interesting, but also means no rest for the wicked. Yeah, I remember that stream that they did a couple of years ago where Mafia cracked out the rule breaker and got us like another 150 St. Quartz. What an absolute nutter. What an absolute nutter. Right. I never noticed. I'm watching my stream right now. The camera seems to be relatively low quality for what it actually is, because it should be a 720p feed, but it's definitely coming through a lot worse. Not sure why. I'll have to figure that out. Wow, did like no damage in chat. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Should have brought STs. Oh well. Okay, and 1, 2, 3. Yeah, after this, I gotta switch back to SINoALICE. I cannot be missing my guild's colo. Not that I really need to be there, but GBW is my first and only gacha game I play right now. Can you recommend others? SINoALICE, Fate Grand Order. JP is about to have its anniversary, which means a ton of free stuff. Grand Blue Fantasy is about to get its Flash Fest in a couple of weeks, which means a lot of really cool characters will be available for re-rolling accounts on. There's all sorts of mobile games to play. Like, I don't think the market has ever been this saturated for like available games. It's a shame that it's all mobile and there's not a lot of platform-based games, but you know, it is what it is. But personally, I enjoy Grand Order for different reasons than what some people do. I enjoy GBGW on it, obviously. SINoALICE is currently good fun. Yeah, and I play a lot of Grand Blue Fantasy on the side because I really like the art. I like the characters. It's just lots of nice things. Think about FGO, but it seems like it's overwhelming to get into. Not really. The game is clearable with practically anything, so you don't have to feel pressure to roll gacha for flavor of the months to beat up things and clear content. The only, you know what? I'm gonna sacrifice you. Good. The only thing to keep an eye out on with FGO is resource management early game, because you need a lot of things to max out characters fully in early game. They give you lots of stamina to play, but they don't give you a lot of items to max out characters. But as a new player, you can just make friends with someone that has a jacked account, and you can clear most of the content and have tons of resources to roll the gacha, which is what a lot of people play the game for. So yeah. If you're looking to pick up FGO, though, I would actually wait until the anniversary stream, because typically they do a start dash update whenever the anniversary drops, and it makes it insanely good for new players to join. So, all right, back to SINoALICE. Okay. Yeah, it looks like everyone is here again. God, this poor guy. Yeah, I don't really have to even fight. This is gonna be disgusting. SDSGC. I have no idea what that acronym means. Unless you're talking about Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross, in which case, no. I've heard of it. I've never played it. I have no interest in the Seven Deadly Sins IP. What I am interested in, though, is Tales of Crestoria. I like the Tales IP, and that's coming out soon. I'm really looking forward to that. Okay. Well, now it's just waiting until Colo starts, I guess, and this poor guy is going to get removed from play. Does Colo ranking give you a reward weekly or monthly? Daily, to my knowledge, actually. Every time you finish a fight, it gives you the rewards. As for ranking rewards, I'm pretty sure, again, that's after every fight. I would have to double check with one of the JP players, but after you finish a fight in Colo, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes for the rewards to show up in your gift box. Yeah, this definitely different than when JP launched with Coliseum, because everyone we had like what, a couple of weeks before Colo launched after the game came out to kind of settle down, and everyone that was going to play stuck with it. So you did have more or less full guilds by that time. This is interesting. Very interesting. Anything going on in the Discord while I'm doing this? Nope. The Gunpla Warfare team just put out a tweet saying, Happy 4th of July. And on the Twitter, someone immediately responded, like within 15 seconds of the tweet, free Haro coins, which is the premium currency. Oh, lordy. Yeah. If you're in the unofficial SINoALICE Discord, the SINoSnow Discord as it is, there is actually currently a character poll running, so if you're interested in putting your name into the pot, then I recommend you go and vote. Not that it really means anything, as it's purely a for fun thing, but trying to check server favorites. I guess there's no incentive to top 100 guilds with no monthly or weekly reward. Oh, there's definitely those rewards as well. I just mean in terms of the normal payouts. Now, you know what? I was going to say, let me double check, but you know what? Not really worth it. I do have a video on my channel talking all about the Coliseum. Check that. I actually believe I discussed the reward system in that, so I'd give it a look. But beyond that, you can always just go to the Discord that's in the top right corner, go to the help channel and ask. The JP players are currently all active and hanging out in there, so one of them will be able to answer you. No, the game is actually like the furthest thing from starving people from HC. The problem is people seem obligated for whatever reason to roll on every single banner, which is fine. It's their premium currency, it's their decision. However, you don't get to turn around after rolling all your currency and going, I want more. It's, dude, they gave you a significant free amount. Like, if you go and watch the video I did or the live stream I did for GBGW at the beginning of last month, where I rolled 5 times to get the premium materials needed to craft the new Xeon sword, I lost, it was 7,500 Haro chips from that, because 1,500 per 10 roll. By the time the end of the month had rolled around, from just passive Haro income from all the different sources, I was only like 1,000 or 2,000 short from the 7,500 I had lost. Like, that is a significant amount of premium currency every month that the game gives you for just playing and being active. The people that sit there and complain, I don't have enough, stop rolling on every single goddamn banner that comes out, and maybe you'll find out you have a lot more when you save in a gacha game. It goes for anything, whether it's Fate Grand Order, SINoALICE, anything. You keep rolling your gadget currency, of course you're not going to have any left. It's common sense. After this call, I think I'm going to kill the stream, though, because I'm running out of things to talk about. The questions seem to have dried up, and it is friggin' hot. I want to go and do something else that's not sweating in my room like a friggin' stuck pig. Christ. Ugh. So, I should actually talk about Colo while it's up, because I said I would do that. So, as you can see, Demon Summoning Chance. So, what that means is the Shinma buff is kind of being put onto the table. If I remember right, it's 20k points or something like that, or is it 10k? When your point reaches a certain number. Yeah, there we go. So at the very top there, underneath the timer, you can see that there are 3 different weapon types. Every time that you use one of those weapons, the counter goes up by 1. When the counter hits 30, which is the number that's displayed there, 30 use, you activate Shinma. Now, something to remember is that the either team can hit that limit. Whoever gets it first gets the buffs. And what was the other? There was one other thing that was kind of important with it. Maybe there wasn't. No, it's just whoever gets there first. That's why playing this on auto is usually a bad idea. It's because if you can spam the correct weapon types quicker, you get it. In an actual competitive Coliseum match, you'll find that your team and the other team is actually racing to get this buff because it gives a huge advantage to whoever gets it. However, as this is a one-sided romp, so to speak, we don't really have to worry about that. I do notice, though, that it doesn't seem like we have any healers, which is kind of hilarious because we are taking damage. We actually have a man down, which is unique, to say the least. But we should get our Shinma chance, and that'll be very useful. Yeah, that one guy is actually doing like a significant chunk of damage for what he is, and I'm kind of interested about that. I see why he won his 1v whatever. The last crew we fought was very, very squishy in comparison. I stopped rolling since Reborns and only have 8k. When was Reborns? Reborns was like, I think it was last month Sokai or something. Oh, it was the month before that Sokai. Or was it the Limiteds? When the heck was Reborns added? That was really recently. Let me just check my live streams real quick because it'll be in there. Oh, and Sukiya joined as well. Hey, Suki, I heard your rolls for the God Gundam were okay. What was that like? Because I still haven't gotten around to seeing it. E-Touch? No thanks. That sounds a little too extreme for me. So let me see here. Where was Reborns? There's no way that was it, was it? Apparently it was. Where's the word tags? Yeah, there it was. So the Reborn's Gundam was with the Chaotic Assault. And Chaotic Assault was May. Yeah, so it was 2 months ago Sokai. So you got like 4,000 Haro chips per month. If that's not enough for people to play the game, I truly don't know what to tell them anymore. Actually, wait, no. If you dumped your entire thing of Haro, then that means you earned 8,000 Haro last month, not 4,000, because it was the tail end of last month, and we're like just first week of this month. So that's 8,000 Haro a month. How do people not have enough Haro for things? I don't get it. They're literally swimming in the stuff. Yeah. This guy's definitely trying his best to fight back, it seems, but it's just not gonna fly. Oh, there we go. We finally got a... Is that a healer? It looks like a healer. Might as well put a little bit of effort in. Oh yeah, the other guy just left because the skirmish time isn't decreasing at all, so he did just actually go full AFK. We just got 1.5k over 2 weeks just recently too. Yeah, but like that's the thing, right? Is people roll on every banner, they roll like 2 or 3 times, and then they turn around and say, there's not enough Haro, this isn't fair, they're greedy. It's like, guys, there's so much Haro in this game. You just sit, let it accumulate for a bit, and there you go. So that's it, right? But Patience is not exactly a virtue well known in these communities, so, but it makes sense, right? They are gacha games. They don't exactly promote patience. But that's why I'm really excited for the upcoming FGO banners, because I have been quite patient with my Saint Quartz. The most recent rolls that I did, what was it? Yeah, it was for Avenger Nobu. I rolled a significant amount of quartz to try to get her. I failed on stream, but I got it later, so worth it. Because I missed her the first time around. I think she's the only character I missed on the first run through that I got later that I actually wanted. So I think the last call we had like a 1500 hit combo, so we're a little slower than last time, it looks like. Really want more Tales of Crestoria info to come out though, because I really want to play that game. I want to play it so bad. As much of a battery, I might actually play that on an emulator just because of how much it chugged my phone. I'll have to see how the account transfer system works first. I think the HC isn't the problem. I think the number of parts they need to get for their suits make it horrible. See, I would be inclined to agree with you because that makes sense. However, it's typically the same people that are always complaining about not having enough haro, right? That's the thing. For sure, I do agree that the rates do need to be readjusted to definitely more heavily favor getting on-banner 4-star parts. But don't forget, the recycle option exists. A lot of people seem to forget that. If the suit is something that you know you wanted when you started playing this game, you should not be rolling on other banners in the first place. Like, I knew I wanted the quad wing. And for months, I sat on my thumbs. I didn't roll. I watched everyone else rolling, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited. And I had like 50k or something when the first banner came up. Granted, I didn't get it, but at that point, that's purely RNG. I did the best I could. If I was impulsive and I had rolled on all the other banners and I only had 10k, that's my fault. I wasn't patient. But we have other means as well. If you're rolling things that are so high or limited, yeah, you only have so many options. But outside of that, you have the medals for the guaranteed 4-star pull. You have the pick tickets for guaranteed 4-star parts. So there's lots of alternative avenues, but the limited and the Sokais are hard to get, but it makes sense as typically they are excessively powerful. $60k to not get denial head. Oh yeah, I know. Like, I didn't get the quad arms until 90k in, right? It's just RNG. It's luck of the draw. But that goes for any gacha game, and it's just this way it goes. But, he saved a good amount, and that's cool. But RNG is RNG. You can pull the entire suit in 110 roll. You could roll 3 million haro and never get it. Way the cookie crumbles. They definitely do need to add a spark system, though. I found that to start being more of a, not requirement, but a definite plus for games is when there is a spark or pity system. Not like Dragalia Lost, where it just increases the chances, fail stacks. God, no. But I think more games need to copy the Grand Blue style, where when you roll X amount of times, you can pick a specific part, whatever. And I have pitched, when we were in LA, actually, I brought up that idea to the table of developers, and I told them more people, in my opinion, from what I know in the communities and the people I hang out with, more people would be much, much more willing to spend if there was a finite ceiling to finishing something. If I knew that rolling 35,000 haro chips guaranteed I would finish a suit, I would have no problem making sure I had that amount before a banner came out, or paying to kind of top off to hit that amount. But when you're playing a game where there is no guarantee cap limit or anything, and you're just crossing your fingers, people are much more hesitant because they're afraid maybe I won't get it, and then all this is wasted and things like that. So from what I know, playing games, talking to people in the communities and whatnot, whenever a game has a you spend X, you get Y, almost every time people are always brought in and they'll spend and they'll spend. get an expansion on recycled ab weapons as well? I would say yes, frankly, because lots of suits have, you know, the guns, the swords, and the shields and things like that people want to fully finish a suit off. And I find it weird that the devs have not added a feature for that yet. There's probably something on the back end with how stuff is sorted and handled internally, but no idea. So, but I definitely do agree that weapons and extra parts should be recyclable, but I also think that we should have a pick ticket for pilots, frankly, because there's a lot of people that are still rolling standard tickets and hoping they get the pilot they want. But yeah, there's lots of things I think that would improve quality of life. We just gotta wait. Come on, Kahlo, end. Put this poor guy out of his misery. Let us get our thick rewards and our second win of Kahlo. Looks like the rest of my group's talking. Yeah. This poor dude. Ugh. But yeah, Colosseum's not really that difficult once you've done it a few times and you've kind of played through it. Literally the hardest part is just getting used to the concept of Shinma buffs, because it's not just guild versus guild, it's also a racing mini game, and there's lots of little things to keep track of like that. So yeah, I think this is the one feature that most people just don't understand with SINoALICE, is the entire Colosseum and how it's tied in. Another way is to get standard rate ups, like those get every Monday or Sunday. Those are fine too, since we get older pilots on rate up, can use standard tickets there. Yes, but I still feel that because we're able to pick parts, we should be able to pick pilots. I get kind of why, because, you know, to finish a suit, you need multiple parts, so it's not that big of a deal. And to finish pilots, it's just one and done and you got it. But I still think that allowing players to be able to get their hands on things they want and want to play with will lead to a much healthier game and a community. Because that's always the biggest part, right? Your game will survive if the community is thriving. You could have arguably one of the worst games in existence, but as long as the community is active and talking, we'll want to play it. So... Oh, finish. Alright, so there's only 2 minutes left, and then I can go and cool down. Jeez. I find it weird that a lot of people join this stream just to, like, ask questions and stuff. I don't mind it, I just find it kind of weird. There's so many guide videos and things that are floating around on the internet. I don't see why you would join a live stream to ask questions, but... I'm still sitting here waiting to do a stream for GBGW and talk about the new update, but they just refuse to put new information about it online, so... What can you do? Let's see. Actually, on that note, I should probably check the anniversary site and see if anything has been added. I highly doubt it, but you never know. That wasn't here. And there. Anniversary. Nope. Nothing. Nothing for 4 days. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just sit on our thumbs and wait. Hey, Spoot. Not much. You know, just streaming Kahlo and then wrapping up after this, because I've been streaming for better part of almost 3 hours now. So I want to go and cool off, because it is friggin' hot in here, and I am all out of drinks and refreshing snacks. It is too much. We got pitted against a one-man guild. It's so one-sided. Oh, cripes. Oh. Yeah. I gotta think about what I'm gonna do for the FGO live stream, the GBF anniversary stream. Wait, anniversary stream for years done, the summer live stream. I need to prep that up. Victory! Oh, I'd hope it's victory. We literally stomped them into the dirt. Yeah, we didn't manage to summon it either time because the phase was over too quickly because there was only one enemy. And yeah, we got a healthy amount of rewards, 13 medals and a bunch of upgrade tablets. Yeah, there's the mastery. Oh, lots of mastery. So, upgrade class. So that was what, about 500 mastery or so for a single colo? Not bad. Do I have to do another colo? Yep, one more colo. Cool. Let's claim my dailies. Grab everything from the chest. And claim. Bada boop. Cool. Alright guys, well I'm going to wrap up the stream here. I am boiling alive. I know what a lobster feels like. And I probably will not do another video until Sunday for my normal GBGW. Oh, yeah, that's tomorrow. Okay, fine, whatever. Anyways, I'll wrap up. Thanks for tuning in, guys. You can always find me in my Discord, which is linked in the description of this video. You can check out the SINoALICE unofficial Discord, which is in the top right corner of this video. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Peace out.